everyone. I just wanted to come on real quick because I had the most amazing experience. So I had my Akashic records. I had an Akashic reading from this beautiful, beautiful soul. Her name is Erin, and she's a special needs mom, and her prices are so affordable, which is probably why I was guided to her. So I'm going to post a link below if anybody else is interested in getting an Akashic reading for a very affordable price. So my reading was about 30 minutes, and I was able to gain some really beautiful information, and the process, how she does it, is really, it was just such a good experience. So I'm going to talk about my experience. So she brought me to my Akashic records, and so my Akashic records, she explained to me, looks like a Thomas Kincaid like picture photograph house, and she explained that there was like a creek out front of this little cottage house and a bridge, a stone bridge over the creek, and then there was an orc guarding the bridge, and he was my Akashic guard, and he gave her the ability to pass and go to my Akashic records. And so she entered my Akashic records, which is just this little cottage, and in the middle of the woods. And so when she went into my Akashic records, it's just like a little house. And she said there was a little table with a set with tea, like they were expecting me, and a little nook with like pillows in the window for reading. I'm looking out the window, which is so mean. And I had 3 guides there. So I had an elemental masculine guide, a water elemental, and then Archangel Hophiel, and then an owl man. And those were my 3 guides that were there, and they were so encouraging, and they really gave me such beautiful messages, and I was so grateful to be able to connect with them. And my bookkeeper was a gnome, and his name was Romeo. And it was really adorable because she started laughing, and she was like, he just said, he's like, you know why my name is Romeo? Because gnomes do it better. And I just, oh my goodness, it was just, probably one of my favorite things about the whole experience is having a gnome for a bookkeeper, and his name is Romeo, and he's just such a character, and all my guides are just such a cast of characters, and it just, I don't know, it's like, I love it because, one of the things I got to learn, once I got into my Akashic book, so the first thing I asked was, about my incarnations with, past incarnations, and so we were brought to, my Fae aspect, and that was kind of because I was asking about several different incarnations, and when I said Fae, it jumped her to like another dimension. So this is kind of like where I'm from, and before Earth, and so I'm Fae, mostly. I mean, we all have many aspects. Like us star people, we are many different things all mashed into one. But one of my primary aspects is Fae. And my name is Seraphina in that dimension, and I am a Fae princess, which I absolutely loved. I don't know much about Fae royalty or what that even means. I just love the name Seraphina because when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was thinking of different names to name her. And so I went back to this list that I had in my phone, and I showed my husband after I got this information. I was like, look, there's the name right there. So Seraphina Rose was one of the names that I had picked for my daughter, and I ended up going with Rowan Sloan. But I just thought that was an interesting synchronicity, and it was really beautiful that I got to learn that. So that was my lifetime before I came to Earth, and that was actually before there was even humans on Earth, because she jumped me to my first incarnation on Earth, and it was actually before Atlantis and before Lemuria. to a time pre-Lemuria, so that was interesting. So on Earth, linearly, I'm pretty old, but I feel like cosmically, as a Fae, I'm still kind of like a kid, technically. So it's kind of cool how that works out. I'm like old here, but young back at home. Which is probably why I feel like such a kid still. um, so that was really cool. I got to get some names. I really didn't get a whole lot of time after that because the Fae, learning stuff about the Fae and talking to my guides, and that took up most of the session. So at the very end of the session, I got to get a couple names from my Atlantean lifetime. And my name was Flores, which I thought was really cool because it's like flowers. And she said I looked so Fae there, and it was really cool because I got to learn a little piece of information that was, I thought, so funny and so synchronistic because it's something that I do now. So I had this crystal where I could use it to change my hair color. So I was always changing my hair color with the crystal. I've been seen in Atlantis with red hair and with blonde hair now, so both hair colors, and probably I had many other hair colors, and in this lifetime, I changed my hair color a lot, so apparently, in my book, one of the things it said was, I was born as a princess, and wanted to do something useful, so I came here. And then in Atlantis, I was bored of my hair, so I wanted to change it all the time. So it sounds like that's a little bit of a pattern with me, is I get bored easily. Constantly needing to, like, I guess, do things or be stimulated in some way. I don't know if that's the right word. But I just thought that was really cool. And then I also got my ancient Egyptian name was Zepatiri or something like that. And I got to the names of my guides. My guides are Foster and Sawyer. I forgot to mention that because I just thought those were really cool names for my guides. My water elemental was Foster and the owl man was Sawyer. And I love those names, and I loved getting to meet my guides, and I loved the whole experience. And then she also sent me an audio recording, and I probably listened to it like 3 or 4 times, maybe even more than that, like just on repeat, like as I was walking around my house, doing my housework, just laughing and just remembering the experience. It was so beautiful and exciting, and I'm glad I got to share that with you all because I thought that was kind of cool, and maybe it will inspire you to look into your Akashic a little bit and maybe open your perspective to the possibility that you're more than just this one human experience. You are many things. We're star people, we're fae, we're elementals, we're many different things, all kind of just having all these different experiences. We're souls having different experiences in different dimensions, and it's so beautiful. And we have this thing called the Akashic Records that kind of keeps a record of all these experiences that we get to have. So even though we forget, right now, we can still access the information and try to start remembering. So I am going to post the links below, and I recommend it. I do, because it was just such an amazing experience for me. I had such, and I feel really blessed that I got to share my experience with you all. And I look forward to sharing more. This information, just that little bit of information, I was able to unlock so many downloads for me, and I was just like, thank you, I needed this. And it was just a lot of confirmations, because I get a lot of information claircognizantly, and I'm like, oh, I almost want somebody else to just confirm it for me, and she did that for me, and I was just like, yes, thank you so much. Oh, and I just have to do one more thing before I go. I put a whole bunch of new stuff into my store. Okay, so some new necklaces. I have them on so you can kind of see how they hang. Yeah, and then some bracelets. So definitely check it out, and I'll post a link below for that. And I'm always adding new stuff to the store all the time because I'm just, I like making stuff. It makes me happy, and I am just gonna stay in that frame of thought, that frame of mind, stay in that vibration, because I feel like it makes me feel good, and when I feel good, I can express that energy out to all of you. I love you all so much. Mwah.